Three, two, one. Today on the show, we have Mark Hunter, author of High Profits Prospecting. It is a book of powerful strategies to find the best leads and drive breakthrough sales results. Mark, thank you so much for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on. Looking forward to talking about all things sales and in particular prospecting.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your kind endorsement of my new book that's coming out. It has a place of honor on the back cover. Hopefully there will be millions of copies to get your name out there even more. Not that it needs to be, because it certainly doesn't. And so for our show, I wanted to get to know you a little bit and find out why sales for you. You've been in sales for quite a while. You've on your LinkedIn profile, you've had quite a storied career of some major like Fortune 500 companies. And why did you break away from that and from the safe job and burst into entrepreneurism where nothing's guaranteed?
Wow, that's, you know what? It was 20 years ago last month that I left a very safe, very wonderful, very good paying corporate job. And the reason I left was really for two reasons. One, I was actually opposed to the CEO and the president of the company. We were locking heads quite a bit. And, you know, those battles normally don't tend to work out for the person who's a little further down on the ring. So anyway, but here was the whole thing. It wasn't just that. It was, I was very concerned because I see so many people go up the corporate ladder. I had a wonderful ride going up the corporate ladder. Then you see people eventually get pigeonholed and they just become stale. And I did not want to go through the next 20, 30 years of my life being stale. And I said, hey, if I'm going to go do something on my own, go do it now. And if I truly believe in myself, I'm going to be successful. And yeah, it's worked out very, very well. Here's the whole thing. Here's what I find very interesting. It has challenged me. And this is the whole thing that we have to think of. Sales is not just about challenging the customer. Sales is about challenging ourselves. And every day I'm challenged because I got to learn something new. I got to gain new insights. Because if I don't stay relevant and fresh, I die very quickly.
That is true. And there's a couple of different ways to look at sales. And it's funny, nobody ever wants to do the hard work, the heavy lifting, and not too many people actually enjoy prospecting. However, it's tough to work around it. And every Facebook advertisement that gets tailored towards me says, no more cold calling, no more door knocking. You don't have to. It's a myth. It's the old way of doing it. And yet I've been a social media monster for years, and I get very, very, very little out of it from just the marketing aspect of it. However, when I pick up the phone and prospect, what do you know? All of a sudden I'm doing business, although nobody likes to do it. There's a book that it was pretty funny. I reached out to him and he was less than pleasant. I won't say his name, but his book on sales says that same message. It's, prospecting, that's cold calling. What a horrible way to start a relationship. Because he doesn't understand prospecting, doesn't want to do it. But what do you say when you hear that all the time, that cold calling is dead and door knocking is dead? How do you respond to that?
Yeah, well, we got to break this down a couple ways. The people who say that, the people who say, cold calling's dead and that you got to do social media, are really the ones who are afraid to talk on the phone. They're the ones who are afraid to engage. They want to hide behind the monitor. They want to hide behind some avatar. And so I got to take those people totally off the table. Here's the whole thing. If you believe in the outcome that you can help people with, if you truly believe that you can help people, and what's the definition of sales? The definition of sales is helping others see and achieve what they didn't think was possible.
I like that definition.
That's what sales is all about. Now, if you believe in this, you have a commitment to be reaching out to people because you know you can help them. I'm going to use a terrible analogy, but I'm going to go ahead and use it. If you're sitting at home and you look out your window and there's some people there that you really don't know. They moved into the neighborhood, but you don't know them. And you look out one evening and you see their house is on fire. What would you do? You would immediately alert them and say, hey, your house is on fire, get out. But if you take the well, I just don't know them. Let me put some social media posts out there. Let me see if over the next few weeks I can kind of create a relationship with them. No, you know that you can help them. So guess what? You're going to go and interrupt them to let them know that their house is on. They may not know it. You see, I don't make any excuses for picking up the phone and calling somebody. I don't make any excuses for interrupting somebody, because I firmly believe, from what I've seen with you, or because of the profile, the type of person you are, I can help you. You see, I owe it to you to interrupt you. You may not know that, but I owe it to you to interrupt you. And when you take that approach, because I firmly believe, you firmly believe in how you can help people, so you don't hesitate to pick up the phone and make that call. When we look at it from that regard, it changes the dynamics completely. And I don't look at it as cold calling. I don't look at it as cold calling. I look at it as engaged calling, informed calling. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to engage you. Because there's, for some reason, for some piece, that I believe I can help you. See, so this isn't just, I just didn't grab a random phone number out of the phone book. No, you're the person I want to be going after. That's why I totally embrace people who embrace social media. And believe me, there are plenty of programs. People are selling programs. You get hit with the Facebook ads. I get hit with them. We all get hit with them. And I find so many people that they prey on the weak. They prey on the weak. They prey on the weak people who are too afraid, too timid themselves. And let me tell you something. I don't know about your bank, but my bank, I can't take clicks and likes to the bank. My bank does not take clicks and likes.
What about emojis? Can you cash those?
No, can't cash those in.
Not even the little poop emoji?
No. The only emoji they like are the loons, that Canadian dollar, that US dollar. That's what they want. They want money. That's what they want. And that's I can't. Wow, kids, I'm sorry, there's no food for us to eat this evening, but I got another 20 people to follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn. Big deal.
I do get the odd deal because of Facebook, because you're top of mind, because people remember who you are. And what's funny is it's never, ever the people that have liked, commented, and shared stuff. It's always people that you had no idea were even watching, no idea at all, and they tend to trickle in the door every now and then.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Let me touch on that for a second, because that's a key point. You still want to be on social media. You still got to create a presence out there, because you may call somebody. And what's the first thing they're going to do? They're going to Google you. They're going to Google you, and what's the internet saying about you? So you do have to have a social presence. It's just that the social presence is what helps create your presence once you've arrived on the scene.
I also find that social media is useful as almost like a CRM, because once you have them, they're on LinkedIn or they're on Facebook. I don't Instagram, although I realize that I should. But because after they meet you, it's one way of remembering you. And especially even for your established clients, not everybody is as fantastic as they should be in having the client maintenance parties and keeping in touch. And I'm a realtor, so it's really important for me to do. It's one of the things that I've been good at, is having the annual parties, things like that, so that you stay top of mind. But Facebook has been good for that as well.
You know what? I apologize.
No, not at all.
My head is overflowing with ideas here, because think about this for a moment. One of the things, and I find is so true in the real estate community where we live on referrals. We want people to refer us, and people are much more likely to refer us if we have a good social presence. See, because then they're going to refer us to somebody, and what are they going to do? They're going to go out and immediately check us out.
Or maybe they've already come across us and say, "Oh yeah, I know that person."
I know exactly. See, so we're not poo-pooing. We're not saying don't do social media. What we're saying is it's just where you create a platform, you create a presence. It's your billboard on the side. It's the sign in the yard. It's the awareness vehicle. But you've got to make the phone call. You got to have that one-on-one connection. See, what I want to do is I want to take online connections and turn them into offline conversations. That's really what my goal is.
That's where the power is.
Yeah.
And how do you use social media then? How do you use
Well,
it?
yeah. I use it now. I'm in more of a B2B space, so my focal point is more
That's
LinkedIn.
Business to business for anybody who's
Right, yeah.
who's not not a sales pro.
Yeah, and in B2C, business to consumer, that's going to be more Facebook oriented. So I tend to lean towards more LinkedIn. Now, how I use that is I put out a very short 10-second video every morning. Every morning I put out and it's literally not more than sometimes it's 13 seconds, but it's just a real quick tip, real quick idea. But what am I doing? I'm just creating presence. I'm just creating top of mind. It doesn't take me more than about 2 minutes to do. And I talked about this in my book. I have to make each minute I spend on social media earn its way. And I don't think you need to spend more than 15 to 20 minutes a day, period, on social media. Because what I want to do is just create a little bit of a presence there, engage a little bit, and then I want to be on the phone. I want to be having coffee. I want to be meeting with people. That's how I'm going to create. That's how I'm going to build my business.
Social media can be a dangerous place. People start getting their political opinions out there. I even know some high-end, very well-known people that just can't help themselves. And they end up throwing their political views on there. What's your opinion of voicing your political views on Facebook or any of the social media platforms?
I don't because it has just become so. Now Canadians have always done a wonderful job of this because just keep it out of the conversation completely. And every time I'm with Canadians, they say, why do you Americans always want to talk politics? But here in the U.S., it's become so heated, so controversial. You just have to let it go. Here's the whole thing. If we allow political opinions and it gets heated and hot and, I'm not going to follow you, I'm not going to pay attention to you, you're very quickly going to wind up having nobody as a friend, period. And don't sit there, well, I got to get this opinion out. You know what? Play the long game. We have to play the long game. Somebody may be heated, somebody may be upset over something today, but you have no idea how that plays out. I look at sales, I look at relationships as the long game. And, I've got wonderful friends who are firm followers of every political party out there. Doesn't matter what the political party is. I got friends in those respective parties. And some of those parties I don't necessarily buy into, but they're still my friends. That doesn't mean I can't be friends with them and I can't help them. So no,
What's fascinating is a friend that I just lost. They parted ways with me because I don't hate a particular political figure. Not because I'm for them, but because I don't hate them. And they're like, well, if you don't hate them, well, you're done. And it is unfortunate, but if somebody's willing to cut you loose over something so small, that's a bizarre world that we're living in.
I'm not going to worry. Exactly. I've had people, I don't wake up in the morning and say, I want to hate people. No, I wake up in the morning and I want to get the best out of life. And my whole view, and this is one reason why I thoroughly love sales. Sales is, like I said, helping people see and achieve what they didn't think was possible. And with every conversation I have with everybody, with you here right now, with everybody else I talk to, I want to earn the right, the privilege, honor, and respect to be able to talk with that person again. Think about that. That's what I want to do. I want to be able to have another conversation. That's what I'm looking for.
Playing the long game.
Yes, play the long game.
Now, being that you're an expert on prospecting, that's going to be a topic that for the average person who isn't a professional salesperson, that's going to be completely lost on them. And the book that we just came out with that you were kind enough to endorse is the Home Seller's Bible for homeowners, agents, and investors. So for the average homeowner, do you see any way when your house is on the market, is there a way for the average homeowner, if they're selling on their own, is there a way for them to prospect?
Sure, there is. And first of all, it starts by creating, how are you creating your own home? In other words, do you have it set up properly, et cetera? Now, let's not bother to go into that. But here's the whole thing. Are you reaching out to people who may know people who would be perfect buyers for your home? You have to create those circles of influence. And here's the whole thing. What I want to do is, if I'm selling my own home, I want to get other people involved in the process. So I want to be communicating with my friends. I want to be communicating with other people. Say, hey, here's my home. Here's who it, and I want to enlist them to be in turn sharing it with other people and other people. You got to keep building your circle. So you're right. You do selling your home yourself is not about just sitting there. Okay, my home's up for sale. I'm going to wait. No, you got to go work it. You've got to go work it.
What is the biggest myth about sales? Sales still gets a bad rap. It is improving. I've been seeing it improving. And when there's more and more sales training out there that's doing it the right way, not the Tin Man way, not the Glengarry Glen Ross way, but doing it the right way, the reputation has been getting better and better and better. And I love your definition of sales. It's about helping people. That's it. And if I could share the definition of sales that came to me in an epiphany years ago, was simply, sales is about the truth. Either the truth is you and I should be doing business, or the truth is we shouldn't, and that's fine too. And either way, let's find out what the truth is.
I love it. That's great. Yeah, because now think about that.
I get a nickel every time you say it.
Well, hey, I will give you a nickel, because if you think about it, one of the things that I always say is the most successful salespeople long term have built their career on a foundation of integrity. And what's a core principle of integrity? Truth. And people want to do business with people like that. So this is why I say sales is a long game. You don't wake up in the morning and say, okay, I'm going to be truthful today. Today is Thursday. It's Truthful Thursday. No. Truth is something you earn day in, day out.
Difficult to gain trust, especially if you're in some sort of a sales position, which all of us are at some point.
Everybody
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Yeah. If you're trying to make a point, if you're trying to have somebody understand your point of view, if you're trying to help somebody who doesn't understand why they need help, you're in sales. Like, it just doesn't matter. Everybody's in sales, but most people really suck at it. They suck at it because once they've done the job of reading your book and understanding how to prospect like a professional, now we have the conversation. Now we're sitting across from each other. When you're sitting across from each other, are you yapping or are you listening? And are you listening actively? Do you know how to? And are you doing it with the right intent, or are you doing it because it's a move? If you're doing it because it's a move, authentic intention is something that you can't fake it, and people can always smell it. Maybe not right off the bat, but eventually you will be outed as not being authentic, guaranteed.
Oh, I think without a doubt that is so true. And see, this is the whole thing about sales. Sales is about a conversation. Sales is about relationships. It's truth. It's integrity. Oh, truth. There's another 5 cents, and I just said it again, so I owe you another 5 cents there. So, man, it's gonna.
Boy, I tell you, by the end of the week, I'm going to Vegas.
Thank goodness the U.S. dollar is worth more right now than the Canadian loon. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. But yeah, people have this bad myth. And I think you're right. Hollywood has created it, and yes. Bad situations we've been in has created it. We've tried to be. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, "Oh man, I hope I'm sold today on something. I hope somebody sells me something." Nobody wakes up like that. No. What people do is they want to buy. And here's a concept to think about buying. People want to buy. But people want a return on their investment. And this doesn't matter whether it's B2B, business to business, or business to consumer. Let's take the homeowner that's looking to buy a new home. It truly is an investment. Now, it's an investment that not only is a financial investment, but it's also an emotional decision. It's an emotional investment. And what we in sales have to do is have to understand, what are the investment factors that you're looking for? And how do we help you? How do we help you maximize your return on investment? When we see somebody buying a lakefront home, or we see somebody buying a home with a in-law type of apartment setup or something like this, and well, they're doing it because they've got a real critical family need, or whether it be they really want to be on the lake because they really want to be able to have weekend parties and have enjoy the water, or the in-laws setup. Those are emotional needs, and I've got to be listening for those, and I got to be hearing those. And how do I help you? How do I help you capitalize on that? And if I can help you capitalize on that, and in turn create also a good financial investment long term, and wow, I've done my job. That's what my job is. My job is to help you realize something that you didn't think was possible.
And it is all about helping. Mark, I think we're at time.
Hey, wow, that went fast.
It did. But if you can just stay on while I hit the end button, and we can chat a bit more. But
Okay.
Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Can I tell people where to go to visit my website?
I really hope you would.
Yeah, it's thesaleshunter.com. My last name is Hunter. I did not change it. But it's thesaleshunter.com. And of course, the book, High Profit Prospecting.
Maybe I'll change my last name to House Seller. Maybe that's
There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Do it legally. Do it right. Just like Freddie Mercury did.
There you go.
All right. Mark Hunter, thank you so much. I'll get
Great
you
selling.
Thank you. Hang on just a sec.